So today, Taylor and I have decided to get out of the house and load everything up in the 4Runner and head out. And we didn't really have any plans at all for any of what we're doing. We just kind of blindly picked a spot on the map and went there. Behind me, we got camp set up with the 4Runner. We have campfire going with Taylor and Kenzu, and we have one epic view in the background here. And this has been an absolutely epic campsite here. This has to be probably one of the best ones, and that does not happen every time we go camping, especially when we blindly pick spots on the map. We have dinner right here. Looks like we have some fajitas on the menu tonight. How is it? All right, so Taylor and I are out here in the wilderness in Lincoln National Forest here in New Mexico. We've determined that we are going to be taking the next 3 days and testing out all our gear, because what's the point of having all this gear if you don't know how to use it? And there is smoke from the fire flying into my face right now, so I'm gonna have to move. Okay, here we go. There. Okay, so we have arrived here in Lincoln National Forest. So we are testing out all our gear. And yeah, it's turning out to be a really awesome trip. I had no plans at all for this trip. We literally just closed our eyes and picked a spot on the map blindly. We're super excited about this. We found a fire tower up the trail a little ways, and we're camped not too far from it here. Couldn't ask for a better evening. It's nice and cool out here. It gets up in about the high 80s, and then tonight, I have no idea how cold it's actually gonna get, so we kind of prepared a little bit on the warm side, but I don't think it's gonna get too cold, so we'll find out. So anyway, we are out here testing our gear, and yeah, that's basically all there is to it. We got 3 days of who knows what we're gonna do or where we're gonna go, but we got nothing but time to kill. So we're gonna eat some dinner and enjoy a campfire. So I don't know if you guys can hear it at all, but all around our campsite, both down the mountain that way and back up the trail this way, we are surrounded by elk, and they are just constantly calling. I've never been around elk, so I never actually got to hear them in person, so it's actually really cool to finally hear it, but they are everywhere here. Maybe if we're lucky, I might get to see one. But anyway, I figure I might as well give you guys the official camp tour. So over here, we have our kitchen, and we also have our trusty cast iron skillet that we never leave home without. Then we also have the Genesis something Jet Boil 2, I think, and that is the best camp stove I have ever had. It is absolutely amazing for cooking just about anything you want. And then of course we have our 4Runner folding table that is completely overpriced and totally unnecessary, but is really cool. And then of course we have our famous 23-0 Armadillo A2 tent, which we absolutely love. I kind of wish I had a bigger one, but I think this is okay. Dog. I don't have a clue what Kenzu is doing when he does this, but he absolutely loves to do this, and it's a really easy way for us to tire him out whenever we're exhausted and we don't really want to do anything. So we just kick some dirt, and he is happy to just go to town and zoom on it. So I'm just watching him in the screen of my camera.
Going at this for like 10 minutes.
I know, he's absolutely insane. But if it wears him out, you know what? That's great. So the last piece of camp gear that we have, of course, is our 23-0 Peregrine awning, which I don't have pulled out because it's actually a really nice day today. But we might be able to pull it out later depending on how the weather is later this week. You know, this dog is just something else. I don't know what to think of him sometimes. But he's easily entertained with dirt. I'm hoping for a good snow because I think he'll really enjoy that then. But until then, we're just gonna have to make do with what we have. All right, so after action report, after our first night out camping with all our gear, it was really wet. So we had quite the lightning show last night as well too, but it just kind of rained off and on all night long, but all our gear stayed dry. We were dry and no complaints at all. Tent held up really well. I was getting a little worried about the lightning there towards that last thunderstorm at around 4 o'clock in the morning because it was really, really close. And I was kind of debating whether we need to start packing up and heading out or if we just needed to hunker down. But I had 1 bar of LTE up here miraculously on this hill. So I pulled up the weather radar and I looked at the map and we were already halfway through the storm. So we just decided to wait it out. So right now we are just kind of letting everything dry up in the tent right now before we pack everything away. But as far as the plans for today, we don't really have any. We're just gonna pick a spot on the map and drive to it. So this is Haynes Canyon Vista, which overlooks Tularosa Basin, which is behind me here, which is a nice, interesting spot because further back down that road is actually a solar observatory, which we did not have time to check out, but one of these days we might have to stop in and see what's going on over there. We kind of have to make a decision here as to what we want to do. We were supposed to fill up gas in Cloudcroft, which was supposed to allow us to spend the next 3 days exploring this part of the forest. However, the gas station in Cloudcroft was being demolished and they didn't really have another option available. So we have about a quarter of a tank of gas left. So that basically means we have to backtrack all the way to Ruidoso going north, or we can go east and go to Alamogordo. Now, I'm kind of keen to sticking to the mountains. That keeps us out of the wind of the deserts. So I think we're going to be backtracking to Ruidoso and we'll be filling up gas there. Hopefully a quarter of a tank is enough to get there. So jump cut to our next campsite. We made it in successfully. We've driven north through Cloudcroft and Ruidoso and we have now made our way here in the northern half of Lincoln National Forest. Now, if these mountains here in the background ring a bell at all to any of you guys, just on the other side of the road, over the hill that you can't really see over here, but at the base of those mountains, is the very first campsite that Taylor and I camped at on our very first overland run that you guys saw here on YouTube. That was the year that we went to bed and woke up with about a foot of snow on top of us, and it made getting out kind of interesting, and we weren't really expecting that kind of thing. Anyway, we have campfire going, we have already eaten dinner, and we're just kind of enjoying the evening and getting ready to call it a day here as the sun is beginning to set behind me. And we have Kinzu, who's also very tired. He's been running nonstop with us and he's been loving it for the most part. And then we have Taylor over here doing her drawing. How's that going?
Good. I'm just mostly messing around right now.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this short little vlog that we did. We're not really doing anything super fancy this week. We're just doing a simple 3-day run. We had no plans at all for anything we're doing right now. But tomorrow we head back home to tackle all the other tasks that are before us, including editing the Africa travel series for you guys. So speaking of that travel series, on another note here on this channel, we might not be that active in posting videos up consistently because we're going to be nose deep tackling this huge monumental travel series that we're doing, and it's a growing task. Every time I look at it, it just kind of gets bigger and bigger, and I'm even working on it right now, editing, and yeah, there's just a lot of ground to cover. So we're just going to be diving in nose deep. So we may fall off the radar for a few weeks at a time. We'll probably have some videos here and there between the release, but for the most part, we're going to be putting all our attention into focusing on completing that series. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.